You need to cut over more.
Back up and go drive more.
Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we're two Wranglers. We decided to do some camping and wheeling this weekend and ended up at one of our favorite spots, Big Bear. The goal was to do Gold Mountain and relax a bit after hitting the trail.
Just came into our campsite. It's a nice big site. It's not too far off the road. Town's that way. We wanted to be a little bit near town this time because we're going to be heading in.
This is my 2021 Jeep Wrangler 392, and this is like my 10th Jeep, and this is some of the stuff that I've done on it. I've named it Hot Rod because it is a hot rod, and so I've got some Flex Era 4 lights in the front, Smitty built XRC bumper with a Warn 10S, factor 55, have a Falcon 3.3 shocks, Icon Rebound Pro rims with some 37-inch BFG KM3s, running spacers on the springs instead of a lift. Haven't gone with a full lift yet on it. Have the Rockside Engineering pillars, cowls with the Gravity Pros from KC on the top. Gives off awesome light. Nice little stubby antenna, little added extra feature. Come around the back, still running the same. Obviously the shocks in the rear with another XRC bumper back here as well. Running a TerraFlex adapter for the spare tire. Give it a little bit of extra oomph. And that's about it.
To start with, I've got the Smitty built Striker series, and I run that front and rear for my bumper. I've got the Warn VR 10S, and also on the front you'll notice my metal cloak diff cover, my mountain off-road skid plate, and up in there I have the TerraFlex 2.2 steering stabilizer. Coming around Wonderland, you'll see that I run Pro Grapplers by Nitto 37s. I also have the Black Rhino. Axle is the style that I run. I have the Rockslide cowling and pillar. These are my Flex Era 4s, which I have directly pointed at my husband's Jeep because he's the lead Jeep and I like seeing him. I also run the Pro Gravity light bar. Very good light bar. No wind noise. Coming around Wonderland, you'll see that she's been busy wheeling, and so she's a little dirty, excuse that. You'll see in my wheel well here that I run TerraFlex 3.3 shocks, which are amazing. I ran monotubes before getting the adjustables, and I'm so spoiled by the adjustables now. I absolutely love them. Love the interactive way it feels. When you're wheeling, you can adjust it. When you're freeway, you can adjust it. It's always a great ride. Can't say enough good things about those. I have the TerraFlex wheel lifter. I don't know what it's called.
Tire adapter.
Tire adapter. Thanks, babe. And again, another diff cover for metal cloak. Coming around, you can see that I've got a few badges. The last one I got was from the REVKIT, which we did in July of this year. So anyway, that's Wonderland. Hope you like her. Thanks for watching.
It's a little history. So I got interested in Jeeps when I was in high school, and a friend of mine had a 1986 CJ7 hardtop, and it was gorgeous. An inline six, and he'd be able to take the top and doors off, and just I had a blast. I was 16, 17 years old, and I thought that was like the greatest thing since sliced cheese. So when I got to be about 19, I got a YJ, and then I had, I think that was an 87 YJ, first year they came out. Then I had an 89, and then a 90, and then a 91. Let's just say I really liked YJs. I don't know why, but it was a great Jeep. I lifted them all. I did all the work myself. My dad was a mechanic and owned a shop, so I was able to do everything myself. I had an endless supply of tools, and in a place with a rack and everything else where I could do all this work, you know, myself, with my dad's like supervision, if you will. And then as I got older, you know, the Jeeps kind of went away. When I met my wife, I had a 90 black YJ, and then I got rid of that. We had kids, and then we ended up going to, I got a 95 after that. Had that for a few years, had a lift, took it on a few trips. It was really fun. I enjoyed that Jeep quite a bit. And then sold it and didn't have a Jeep for a few years, and then ended up with a 74 CJ5 with a 304, a 3-speed Muncie transmission in it that was locked front and rear, running 456 gearing. I mean, it was a beast, and it was a great Jeep. Absolutely loved it, and had that for several years before I sold it, so I wasn't driving it as much as I would have liked, and that's where I eventually stopped. So that's, you know, at that point I got rid of it and didn't have a Jeep for a while, and then at one point my wife said, hey, why don't you get yourself another Jeep? Why don't you get a new one? And I started looking around, and I ordered one, and then eventually found that, because it was during COVID, and finding Jeeps was not an easy thing. And then I went and I found a 2021 at a dealership in Portland, which had everything that I wanted on it. It was Stingray. It was amazing. And I called up there, and they said, yeah, they had it. And I said, I'll be there tomorrow. And I hopped a plane, and my wife and I got up there the next morning, and we drove it home. Yeah, as we were driving home, I said, hey, you want to drive for a bit? And she said, sure. So she drove, and she was driving for about an hour, she said, okay, that's it, I want one. So lo and behold, we went and ordered one for her right after that, and she's been loving her Jeep. Long story long, I didn't really do that much research into the 392 when I was ordering my Jeep. I just didn't really think about it. And then I started seeing all these photos and videos and things about people talking about their 392, and then I really started getting interested in it. And then, you know, sheer luck, we found one at a dealership local to where we live. And my wife called, made an appointment, and we had it home that afternoon. And then it was going to be just a Jeep that we shared, something that we would just, you know, be our run around town Jeep kind of thing. And it kind of evolved more into, we didn't need 3. And so I put my gray one up for sale, and I switched all of the parts over from the gray one to the red one, and sold the gray one. And now I've ordered a white one for my wife, and hers will be here in a couple of months, and we'll do the same thing. We'll do all the takeoffs from hers and put them on the new one, and then it'll be great, and we'll have 2 of them. It's a little hard sometimes when you're on a long road trip, and you know the limitations of the 3.6. It doesn't really go that fast, so you know, you have to just kind of keep it very very kindergarten on the throttle, to not go very fast. So you know, and that's just kind of our deal. That's my deal, and where I got involved in Jeeps and how many I've had, and I've loved wheeling my whole life, and I'm happy that she's involved in it now too, because it's been absolutely great. So thanks for watching. Yep. That's it. Come on up. You got it. Go driver a little bit. Keep coming up. There you go. Keep going. Rear tires are going to start coming up now. There you go. Keep going the way you're going. You're doing just fine. Go to passenger. A little more passenger. More passenger. Come on. You're good. Come on. There you go. You're coming out of it here in just a minute. Nicely done.
Because I work like probably because that same where everything started. So I worked a mile and a half. So I was vacuuming everything.
You need to cut over more.
Yeah, back up and go driver more.
So we were like evacuating this time, getting stuff that
About 6 inches. About 6 inches and then go driver.
Yeah.
Right there. Now
There you go.
driver.
Now
Right
come
there.
on. Little too much driver. Right there. Whoops. A little too fast.
Good climate. Perfect. Let's stay driver a little bit. Don't go too much passenger.
There you go.
Right there. Perfect.
You're up. Got a heads up right now. There you go.
Good finesse.
Last time we did it, it was snowing. We spent a little bit of time here on this part. You guys have fun.
You too.
Thanks. Yeah, back up about 3 feet more. Yeah. No, you're fine. Back up. Right there, turn driver. There you go. Just go right directly up behind the 392.
We've wrapped up Gold Mountain Trail and we're heading back to the campsite now for a little rest and relaxation.
So you've made it to camp after a long day of wheeling, or maybe you just earned a badge of honor, or maybe you just rescued a bronco. But now you're at camp for the night and you're ready for a nice, tasty beverage. Welcome to Cocktrails. Today, I'm gonna make a traditional old-fashioned. A part of the lore of this drink is that in the year 1882, a Chicago bartender deemed the most popular version, which was one made with rye, the old-fashioned way of making it, hence the name. Let's build this drink. First, you'll need a lowball glass. You'll need some rye, some bitters, some sugar, and some water. And of course, some ice. Now, grab yourself a lowball glass. Next, we're going to get a teaspoon of sugar, and we're going to do a teaspoon of some water. Next, we're going to take 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, and we're going to use our muddler and muddle this up as best we can to dissolve all the sugar. Fun, huh? Don't worry, at the end of this, you're going to have a really good cocktail. Next, we want to put in our ice cubes. And then we're going to take 2 ounces of some good rye. And pour that over the top of your ice cube. Stir that up. And enjoy. I said beverage instead of cocktail.
That's okay.
Oh no, it is beverage. Oh, I said it right. And lastly, we'll grab some orange, do a little bit of peel. We'll just work with this orange here. This is fun. Maybe we'll just do that last one. This peeler's not that great. It's horrible. I can't get. I'm